Hello boys and girls, welcome to another session of Dwarf Fortress Abbeydent. It's still early spring. We didn't really play much yesterday. It was Friday night and I was tired from work. But today I've got plans. Today we will see if we can melt some of the copper. I realized we've got copper bars, 139 copper bars, and I took a look at the melt item article in the Dwarf Fortress wiki, and I realized making trap components and melting them actually gains you metal. So it's an exploit of the game, because every time you melt an item there is a defined amount of metal bars the melting process yields, and for certain items the melting process yields more metal bars than it's needed to craft the item. This is most apparent with coins. If you melt coins one by one, if you craft a stack of coins, they will craft a stack of 500 coins. If you melt them one by one, you will gain 50 times the amount of what has been needed to craft the coins. With other items it is not as big, not as big difference. I think the second best are arrows. If you melt them one by one, that's why people tried to make a way of splitting arrows into stacks of one, but without the hassle of splitting stacks of little things. The best yield you can get is probably 150% for trap components, like certain trap components like giant axe blade, enormous corkscrew, and menacing spikes. Yeah, so for that's the best yield. And leggings also yield 150% of what they need to be crafted. So I guess we will craft menacing spikes or axe blades from copper and leggings of copper and melt them and all over again, so that until we've got masterwork items, and with that we will gain some copper items. So that's the plan. It's a little cheat, I know, but we don't really have too much metal. I would have, well, we have copper, we don't really need it, you know, but that's what I'm going to do, just because I want. A little exploit. We have also, yesterday we have decided where we want to build what structures. Oh, hello Kay, welcome to the stream. Yesterday we have decided that we would like to have some sort of a kitchen or a tavern built here, a multi-level thing here, 1, 2, 3 levels of joy and drunkenness. So that's going to be here as a building, probably with an up ramp for traffic, caravans climbing up and going through the gate and entering the entrance. Right, then nothing much more has been decided. We produced some statues and placed them here in these temples. They are now declared as temples. This is the stone stockpile ready to supply the building of this, well, tavern. I call it tavern, but I don't really want it to be public tavern. Because that would attract a lot of visitors, and I don't really want visitors. What I want later, I want librarians, I want scholars, I want scientists to join our fortress. So I will build a library. I haven't decided yet where we would have the library. I guess we'd have it here. Yeah, I'd probably build it adjacent to this, or maybe I'd build it. Well, I don't know really. I haven't decided yet where the library would be. We've got 2 towers here. The library could be here. Yeah, why not? Why not have it here? It's no, why not have it here? I tell you why not have it there, because it's far away from everything. Let's have the library right here. I wish there would be a shortcut for zooming to 100%. Yeah, the library will probably be here then. It looks like a good place. Yes, I think we'll have that. So that's that. Nothing much really happened last session. Everything's good, everything's fine. We are waiting for migrants. Our military, I've checked our military. One of our greenhorns wrestlers became spear dwarf. Sword dwarfs still have lots of wrestlers which are learning sword enough so they can be called a sword dwarf. They are very inexperienced. It'll take years and years of practice until they are legendary. Or you know what, we could have a library here. And this above this thing we could have a library. Problem is there's no good access to this thing because of the aquifer. Yeah, forget about it. Another thing I thought we could do is have some more dwarves gathering sand for glass production. We are, after all, we have embarked in a desert area full of sand, so we should really use it. Glass is a very versatile, how do you say, like glass material, but yeah, having an infinite supply of it is something we should definitely use. So glass furnace, I think this has a no, this hasn't. I haven't even got a workshop profile for the glass furnace. We've got one skilled glass worker who is, or at least who is training up to become legendary. He's not that skilled yet, but when I do glass industry, when I make glass, I always let this one dwarf make it. Yeah, that's right, and it's our bone carver. Currently is a mace dwarf. He is oh, actually I see I have a, yeah, sure, I have a miner, actually miner who is a glass maker too. All right, so the other one, yeah, so that's my most skilled glass maker, level 7 adept, Datan altar. So let's make a workshop profile since we have our manager, Datan altar. Oh, he's a chief medical dwarf as well, right. And for others, yeah, we will just add, well, I will have, oh no, actually I have even a better glass maker who is in the military, Grandmaster already. Yeah, so let's reserve it to Askeskal. Workshop profile, search Keskal, Swords Dwarf. I'll let both of these guys work in the glass industry. Actually, no, this is wrong. Permit all. I wanted Keskal to be here at permitted. So two dwarves the Adept and the Grandmaster can smelt here. The others will just, you know, gather sand, collect sand. Yeah. Now that we've got some bags, previously sand collection has been a bottleneck in sand collection because we didn't have too many bags. Now that we've produced some more bags, we can afford slightly larger scale sand industry, glass industry. Kay says, Nagi, I'm a newbie, so I channel down. So I channel down 1 Z level. Then I dig a hole, but my dwarves won't do something. Oh yes, have to use stairs. Yeah, I know this problem. It's good thing you ask. Just take a look at the mining page of Dwarf Fortress, and I'll link it to you. Dwarf mining wiki. There you see the solution to your trouble. I don't think I can really share it here with the. I've tried before. If I add a window capture, it just will not. It does after all. So this is the mining page, and there you see what happens. So you have a side view. These are Z levels. So if you dig a channel, what happens is this. And if you mine the area, well, your dwarves cannot really go up. They can only go up if there is a ramp, and a ramp only exists if it has a full block of wall behind it. So a full block of wall has to be adjacent to the ramp for the ramp to exist. Once you dig away the full block of ramp, the ramp will cease to exist. So what happened? Your dwarves are freely moving in a Z level below, and they can't jump up. So that's why you have to build stairs. And of course there is also a trick to build stairs. Each Z level is divided between the mineable block, the mineable wall, and mineable floor tile. So there's a wall tile and there's a floor tile for each Z level. When you carve upstairs, you carve them in the wall tile. When you carve downstairs, you carve them into the floor tile. And only when you've carved both up and downstairs, they connect, right? So if you'd carved downstairs here and there would be a mined out wall tile below, the dwarfs still wouldn't be able to walk up the stairs. Only when there are stairs down there, so you'd have to construct them or carve them. So what I do when I carve down ramps, like I did here. Look at this. This is slightly messy room here, but it's my ammo stockpile. This Z level, the wall tiles of it, it's completely mined out except for these two and these two, and adjacent to them is an up ramp. An up ramp it is because the arrow is pointing up. Compare it to a down ramp where the arrow is pointing down. This is a down ramp. This is an up ramp. So an up ramp always needs an adjacent wall. So I had to keep the walls intact here. So I have up ramps. So my dwarves, when they want to go up the Z level, they walk around the wall here and go up the ramp, and they end up 1 Z level above, which is actually, yeah, they end up here. And this is a floor hedge covering an up and down stairs, because I further ascend and descend, I didn't want to make the ramps. I wanted to carve stairs. So this is how ramps work. You always have to have an adjacent wall. This is why. Yeah, this is a down ramp. It doesn't need an adjacent wall. It has adjacent wall on the level below, But this is an up ramp, and look at this. That is the wall, the adjacent wall. It supports the ramp. So that's what you need. So if you're using ramps, you always have to have a supporting wall next to it, next to an up ramp. Then Devil says, can you make glass bags? No, you can make glass coffers, which are called glass boxes. But they do not serve as bins. They serve as coffers and chests. But pretty much anything can be made of glass. Cabinet, coffin, great tablet, toy. Sadly, no mechanisms, I guess. But glass is magma safe. Magma safe. So if you'd want a magma safe floodgate, we could have that. But I won't use magma safe floodgate. Floodgates can be destroyed by building destroyers, so why risk it? But green glass bookcase, maybe we will have a green glass library. But first collect some sand and make sure that for each piece of for each bit of sand they collect, they need a mitten image. Why aren't they? Okay, I guess my clothes maker is now cancelling making cloth things, so I'll designate some. Oh, we'll make yarn bags. We'll need yarn bags for glass industry. It's slightly unrealistic to have sand stored in yarn bags. You know, yarn has really wide mesh. Sand would probably it couldn't probably hold sand, but yeah. In Dwarf Fortress it can. Do we have any yarn bags? Oh, yarn cloth, sheep wool cloth. We have pigtail cloth. Man, what's your problem, clothes maker? Why did you cancel so many? So, oh, look at this. This is beautiful. With the T cursor, we can see what's planted here. Pod seeds, helmets, nuts, and nuts. Okay, and we've got a little camel. The camel, I suppose, has been born tame, and yeah, it's tame. Our culture has tame camels. Ducks have grown up. We should slaughter them before they multiply too much more. Duck, yeah, let's butcher most of the ducks. And what's the duck male? Gander? No, not gander. That's goose and gander. Duck and what's the male counterpart? Drake it is. Yeah, let's keep one drake and let's keep 2 ducks. 1 drake and 2 ducks, yeah. How are our leopard cubs doing? Large spotted feline. Feline, feline, feline or feline? Feline.
Feline, feline.
Oh, my speakers aren't turned on.
Feline.
Feline, okay, feline. Yeah, thanks, Oldun. Oh, Oldun, it's been a long time since I've seen you in one of my streams. Welcome. I see our sheep population is getting out of hand. So I have I'll have them sheared and slaughtered once I get the message that there is no more animals to shear. So we wanted to cheat a little with the tetrahedrite, large serrated disc, spike, corkscrew, silver ball, axe blade. This is not really necessary. We will do this from copper. And we agreed on melting and crafting giant axe blade, corkscrew, and spike. Axe blade, corkscrew, and hey, stay there. Spike, and on the other hand, we have copper gauntlet breastplate. Yeah, that's good. That's good. Actually, let's have only leggings, because leggings are the only armor part. Which yield 150. Well, we could. We do nothing wrong if we do gauntlet and high boots and shields. Gauntlet, high boot, shield as well. And I guess I'll need a stockpile for trap components. Now, why store them here when they will be melted anyway? So let's store them right here. Good afternoon, Exosolaris. It's been a while. Oh, migrants, look at this. What a beauty. So I have a population cap of 79. Because I've read that starting at 80, the sieges come, and I don't feel quite ready for a siege. So what is he? Herbalist. I have no idea what to make of him. Confused pages. Very good feel for social relationships and good intuition. Could be our tavern keeper. Oh, poet, speaker, and dancer. So, performer in a temple, I guess. Worshipper of Nosim. Why does she have? Oh, worshipper of Stanir. We have a temple for Stanir. That's we have Stanir Oily Church. It is called. Well, yes. So let's do this. Performer. Oily Church will be Urdim Shad. Okay. Hello, Exo. Yeah, you say bottle of Czech Pilsner. Ah, hey, cheers. I'm drinking it as well. Looks like a metalsmith. Armorer, look at this. Adequate armor smith. Well, that's a good backup. Negotiator. Conversationalist. Flatterer. Comedian. How come so many of my civilization dwarves are swimmers? I've never had that. Poet. Yeah, I don't know what. I guess I'll put in two marks. Marksman. What's the status of our military? Hammer dwarves. No, it's marksman. Marksman. Yeah, we can use more marksmen. And one more mace man. Spear dwarf. Okay, I mean, that will be. I think I'll decide late. No, I will not decide later. Oh yeah, I will decide later. Let's take a look at preferences. Iron. He likes iron. He's mighty. I thought flimsy would be the opposite of mighty. Well, what does exactly flimsy mean? Flimsy means insubstantial and easily damaged. Yeah, flimsy makes like very, very thin. Fragile, breakable, frail, shaky, unstable, wobbly, tottery, rickety, ramshackle, makeshift. Easily damaged. Well, he'll have to harden as a spear dwarf. I'll make him a spear dwarf. Shemdust Sigun. I'll take a note. Yak. Clerk or trader. So many traders came to our fortress. Speaker, dancer, musician. Very good creativity and very good relationships. And now I feel like the guy mustering people for military or whatever, you know. Just, okay, what can you do? What can you not do? What do you like? What you don't like? Go there, go there, go there. Become that, become that. It's fun to decide over the yeah, over the destinies of people's of people. It's fun to decide over the dwarf's destiny this way. Devil says, have him work a pump for a couple of years, darn flimsy dwarves. Yeah, I know that, Drake. Building pumps and pumping air. Yeah, they'll grow muscles quite quickly. I think we've employed this technique in, was it in Lanced Brains, where we had these workout centers where dwarves were just pumping nothing just to grow strong. Yeah, I'll put him to spear dwarves. He's a surgeon. Well, we can always use a good surgeon. I'll need a mason. I'll make him a mason. Talented army user, talented fighter, biter, dodger. Well, look at that. Talented fighter, biter, dodger. Looks like a maceman to me. Exo says DF game mechanics are amazing. I've noticed that physical traits are passed on to offspring. Yes, they are. They are. The people really found out, or did some science. They came to the conclusion that there exists something like a DNA code in the dwarves, and that some traits and features are inherited. I didn't really read the details of it, but that's what I picked up in the forums somewhere. As you would expect in nature, yes, of course. Kay is asking, if you take the UI, which game is harder? Dwarf Fortress, Rimworld, or No More? It's a question to the public chat. I haven't played any of other games. I'm not really interested in playing them. So that was it. No? Here comes a hunter. Actually, not a hunter, but an animal caretaker. Novice fighter, biter, dodger. Fighter, biter, dodger. Do we still have place at swords, dwarfs? No, swords walls are full. We'll make him a spearman. Weaponsmith. Hey, hey, hey. Missed them. Mark's Dwarf. Another weaponsmith. Skilled liar. Mark's Dwarf. Master Armorsmith. Wow, that's a surprise. But I do think we have already a legendary armorsmith. Sorry, Master, but you may join. What's your preferences? Platinum, Tigray. Kangaroo cheese. He likes kangaroo cheese. We should milk kangaroos and make some cheese. He likes kangaroo cheese. Very flimsy. Can't decide which military squad to put him in. Mace. He'll grow strong with mace. Or die trying. Okay, that's it. Exosolari says, anybody remember Blue Byte, The Settlers? My first ever game loaded via floppy disk. Well, I've never played a Blue Byte Settlers. I never played Settlers. Well, I understand it's very popular. I played another game by Blue Byte, and it's a German company. It's a German game making company. It made Battle Isle 2, and that is until today a strategic game. I'm not convinced it's been matched by any of the modern strategic games. I've been looking for something more current than the old Blue Byte Battle Isle 2, and there isn't really anything. One game which picked up the idea of these turn-based strategy with military vehicles, like Battle Isle had, where you play the strategist, is Battle of Kronos. Nice little game. I've featured it in a couple of streams, but I don't think it has the sort of, well, yeah, it tries to go in Battle Isle's footsteps, but it's not like it's really replacing it, for at least not in my book. Exo says the original Settlers was very engaging and different to the ones that followed. I would describe the gameplay as charming. Haven't heard of Battle Isle. But Settlers was sort of like Command and Conquer, right? It was a real-time strategy where you built a settlement and defended it against dangers and enemies, I guess. Okay, says why I embarked in a place where there are no trees at all. Why indeed, Kay? Isn't it impossible to embark without trees, except you really want to, and you have this embark everywhere option set or somehow modded? Usually the game doesn't even allow you to embark on a place without trees. At least a little bit. One map tile of scarce trees at least has to be present to enable you to embark. Well, get wood from the caravan, or bring some wood with you if you haven't, and there's a long time until the caravan arrives. Then you probably have to dig into the caverns and chop down some trees there and hope that the cavern life in Cavern Layer 1 is not deadly enough for your dwarves. It's a challenge. I have never done it myself. I've been playing Dwarf Fortress for over 8 years, and I've never ever tried a treeless embark. I want to try it pretty soon, but it's a challenge. I haven't felt like doing until now. This comes close to it. I mean, it has like 1, 2, 3 trees on the whole map. The wood supply is pretty limited, but nevertheless, we've got trees. If we wanted, we could have trees. Okay, says, I swear I embarked where there is no trees at all. I didn't know the floor was soil. A little bit of stone. I don't know why. Well, I guess maybe the map prospector on the pre-embark screen said it would have trees, but you picked an unlucky piece of it. Devil says a lot of places don't have trees. You just trade for wood. The whole game can be played without out of the trade depot. Sure, it can. Yeah. Dan says, do you create sewers in Dwarf Fortress? Realistically, that would be an issue. Underground ventilation. Yeah. They've been discussing this multiple times already in the forums, whether there should be something like excrements of dwarves be implemented and somehow dealt with. And the designer said, okay, it wouldn't be a problem. He wouldn't have no ethical issues with it. I mean, dealing with shit. But it's just that he feels the game would be less playable. There is only so much realism. I mean, it takes a certain. It's good to have realism, but up to a certain point, right? It has to be a game. It has to be playable, and it has to be fun to play. If you'd have to deal for every little bit of realism here, like dealing with excrements, air ventilation, or something like creating cutlery to eat food and plates and whatever. It's good enough that we have mugs for them to drink, and that they want a mug, then they want a table to sit at, and a chair to eat at, and a chair to sit in while eating. So yeah, that they are not going to implement that. Gentleman says hello gentleman. I've been a long time subscriber, watching you since I was 15. Now I'm 20. Your channel helped me after those horrible teenage days. Thank you. Yeah, you're welcome, man. If you decide to leave YouTube someday, please don't delete your channel. Don't worry, it'll stay there for eternity. I love all your MPs. So many happy memories. Hey, great to hear. That's nice. Shed it here. Oh, thank you. So flattered. So the new arrivals are still arriving. Hey, I just noticed we've built stairs here because we wanted to build the roof. So let's continue with that. Oh, look, he is gathering sand. He's now bringing back the loot, bringing back the sand. Yeah, we've got some sandbags here already. Here we are making clay crafts. Sewer manager, one new profession to take seriously. Do you know that in ancient Mesopotamia, in the land of Sumer and Akkad, they had really a job profile like channel manager? Was because it was all desert. The whole life depended on, and the whole agriculture depended pretty much on the two rivers, Euphrates and Tigris. And they had to have a very complex channel system with dams and sort of floodgates to support growth in there, and somebody taking care of the channel so that they don't know that they are not muddied, and what and all, that the floodgates really work properly, and there was a respectable job back then. Of course, in the very old days, the whole Mesopotamia was not a desert. It had even a jungle-like vegetation with rich wildlife. But civilization took care of it. even 5,000 years ago, people destroyed nature around them. So I think our carpenter has crafted the first batch of bins. Let's make another one, and I don't really want to waste more than 20 wood logs for creating bins. The rest of this shall be metal bins. We shall have metal bins. Okay, I think new arrivals have now totally arrived, and they are lurking around without a job, so let's take care of it. We decided that we will make some of them mace dwarves. So mace dwarves are here. Mechanical moths. We have one position free, and that is to be taken by Udivgutid. Next up. Oh no, that's sorry, my fault. Not Udivgutid, but Dukim Ezar. Shorast Lilum. Yeah, well, this guy has to join some other melee squad. No, we don't have another. Okay, he'll join the Marks Dwarves. Okay, so Dukim Ezar is taken care of. Spear Dwarves now. Spear Dwarves are in the scraped lashes. We have 3 positions free, and we want Shem the Armorer, Erib Odom, and Reg Otung. That's taken care of. Now Marksmen, Salves of Hoping have 3 positions free. We will add Mistem Zedot. We will add Besmar. And we will add Shorast. Okay. Devil says, without waste, the dwarves will never develop explosives. Tom says, oh, well, explosives probably don't belong to game like Dwarf Fortress. I think what comes closest to explosions will be effects of magical spells. Tom T, hello Tom, says, oh, I didn't know that Nagi channel irrigation maintenance must have been a very important part. Yes, it was really. Gentleman says, humans are the only animals to destroy nature, unfortunately. I wouldn't say so. Not so sure. I think there are examples of other species. Of course, other species, the problem is that other species also destroy nature, but only in a limited way, because other species are in the cycle of life, that every other species has some other species which is a life threat to them. Something hunts, kills, or eats any other species, I guess, more or less. There's no other species which tries to survive not matter what. See? So that they are somehow interlinked with the cycle of all life on Earth, and the human is just a consummate. He is not consumed. Well, ultimately, when he dies, of course, he's consumed by bacteria in the grave or whatever. But it's not like we would be hunted by some wild animals, and eventually, and there would be a steady balance between births and deaths, like early deaths of humans. Every other species is more or less in balance with this, with the others, but human, with his intelligence and actions, just counters it. And Lutra, what is Lutra? European otter. Ah, yay! I've seen them. They are so cute. Yes. Yeah, that's a nice favorite animal. Yeah, as gentleman says, some birds destroy smaller. Yeah, they do, but they don't destroy. It doesn't get out of hand. Yeah, this gentleman says the humans are the ultimate hunter, the ultimate animal, the perfect hunter, and no other animal can compare to us. Of course not. Yeah, that's the problem. That's what sets the nature off balance. And what makes the So look at this, we've got some chain leggings, copper leggings, and we can already melt some of these, pretty much, except masterwork. Leggings yield 150%. Exo says the ecosystem finds its own way to balance itself, a state of natural equilibrium. I believe we are tipping that balance. Yeah, it's my same impression. I've got the same impression. We are tipping it until a certain point where it gets out of hand, and then there's a catastrophe, and wipes out like 90% of life on Earth, and it basically restarts like there has been, like it has been. The geologists think that this has happened 1 or 2 times in life's history on Earth, that there have been like near complete wipeouts of life on Earth in certain periods, like every many millions of years. So that eventually clears things. Paul says, in other news, I bought a new headset. Kingston HyperX Cloud 2. What does it do? Gaming headset. Ah, okay. You happy with it? It's got a microphone. Volume control on the wire. Replaceable ear pads. Oh, it's like a round ear, right? It doesn't lay on your ear, but it's a round ear. I like those round ear headphones. They're very comfortable to wear for a long time. You happy with it? I'm looking for a Bluetooth headset. I need for my phone when I'm making phone calls at work. It is often necessary for me to speak to somebody on the phone and do stuff on the computer in parallel to it. And I don't really have a headset. I use headphones, but still I had to somehow speak close to the microphone, to the inbuilt microphone on the phone. So now I'm getting a new phone. I've ordered the Pixel 2, and that doesn't have really an headphones plug. So I'm looking to buy a Bluetooth headset, but I can't decide which. So now it would be time to, well, I guess we'll dig some more. Dig some more veins here. You say Nagi sweet talks to many women. They call him during work. And Bluetooth headset is paramount. Yeah, I wish. There are no women in automobile industry in Wolfsburg. It's only men. So we are now, yeah, okay. BCX. Oh no, I really need an upstairs here. Okay, next I need, yeah, that's it. Okay, so next we see floor. Let's build some diorite here. Okay, needs access. All right, let's. Exo says I found another Blue Byte game called Albion, released in '95. Oh yes, I remember. I have read a review of Albion in a computer gaming magazine in the '90s. I always wondered how it would be to play it. I've never could get my hands on it. I think it was sort of like the Fallout 1 or 2, the first Fallout, which was an isometric view and seeing you walking, doing stuff. So how is our little werebeast locked away in the caverns? Remember him? Here he is. He is thirsty. Well, here is your pool, you can drink. You will not die. I'll go get another beer. I'll be right back. Oh, Exo says I'm going to brew my own beer this Christmas. I have bought all the equipment I need. Wow. Really? I never thought it would be that easy to brew beer at home. I'm feeling like I want to know more about it. Consider it myself. Is it? It probably doesn't save money, does it? How much beer would you have to brew to pay back the investment into the tools and whatever you need for it? It's just that you can. It's probably like a hobby. Hobby isn't supposed to be lucrative, right? Hobby is basically something like a money sink. So if you want to brew your own beer, you can enjoy your own beer, even though it costs you like $2 a glass. Tom T says, so much works and foul smells for too little. Devil says, prisoners do it. Really? Are they allowed to? I don't think they are allowed to. Alcohol is a no-go. I think in prison they don't get no alcohol and no coffee, right? All they can have is tea. At least that's what I heard somewhere. I don't know whether it applies to American prisons. Gentlemen says, vodka with orange juice is the best. Yum. Vodka with juice is a poor man's drink. Oh, this drinking discussion. I have recently ordered a whiskey I didn't try before. Scotch single malt. It's quite good. It's a whiskey you'd recommend to somebody who is just thinking of starting tasting whiskey. It doesn't taste bad. It tastes rather good actually, and it's of rather high quality as well. So good definition, Nugget. Hobby is basically a money sink. Well, it is, isn't it? Ferko says, can do it without any specialized equipment, just large pots and fermentation pot with lid and a little bubbling airlock. Yeah, but Exo says, what else is money for if it's not to enjoy yourself? Of course it is. Completely share your opinion. I've got so many money sinks. It's terrible. Hey, he transformed into a werewolf again. Here he is. Let's see what he does. Well, at least he's not thirsty anymore. I wish he'd encounter a beast in this form. I feel like when new troglodytes come, or when new beasts populate this cavern, he will be in his dwarf form and will succumb to them. He will not be able to really fight them. Basically barehanded is what he is, right? We don't even see his inventory now. But I don't think he's got any weapons. Last time we saw him, he was punching a giant bat in the cavern, like a cave bat. Punching with his hands. Had he have a weapon, he'd use it. anyway, so I hope when Mega Beast comes, or a Forgotten Beast comes into the caverns, he will be in his Beast form to stand a chance in the fight at least. Yeah, yes, Jazz says Jägermeister is too much like some kind of cough medicine for it to be enjoyable. Right. That's why I don't like to drink Kräuter liquors, or these liquors made of herbs. They are all herby and bitter. I enjoy liquors. I like to drink liquors, but it has to be fruity, sweet. I like sherry. I like what is it something like, wait a moment, is that an English word? Griot, yeah. I like griot, and I like well, you know, some like plum liquors and whatever you get. J-Dog says, can you explain how this game works? I'm a little confused. Hey J-Dog, welcome. Well, Dwarf Fortress is basically a micromanagement games. Many people compare it to The Sims, and although I didn't play too much Sims, I think it. I personally didn't play any Sims, but I know about the game and what it's about. I think the comparison is not too far off. You just care for your dwarves. The difference to The Sims is that there is much more danger in the life of a dwarf, because they settle in the wild environment. Once their fame, you basically found a new settlement of a dwarven civilization. There are many dwarven civilizations in a randomly generated fantasy world, and you start with 7 dwarves to found a colony, and when you are successful and trade with your mountain homes, migrants are attracted to join your settlement, and it grows and grows. We currently have 72 dwarves, and the dwarves have skills like this guy. You can look what he is: shield user, observer, fighter, biter. He doesn't have any crafting skills, but many dwarves are craftsmen. They make things of bones, stone, wood, metal, glass, whatnot, and they craft products. They craft masterworks. Dwarves are industrious, and they are masters at crafts, and so trade goods basically. And you trade then with other caravans. You can trade with elves, humans, dwarves, and your fame grows and grows, and it attracts the attention of your enemies, such as goblins, trolls, and kobolds, kobold thieves, and even some alien nation, or not alien nation, I mean alienated fantasy nations. You have human civilizations, but some humans are friendly to your civilizations, some are unfriendly, and your civilization is at war with them. So there are complex diplomatic, political connections in this fantasy world, and you trade them and war with them, defend the fortress against them, and anything you can do, you can build. Of course, you can dig into the earth. You can see this map as horizontal slices of the terrain. So this is like the top layer, the level under it, so you can see something like a slope falling off to the east. And this dark area is undiscovered, undug stone in the hill. Here we have dug some soil where our animals pasture safely underground. They are grazers. And we have dug rooms for stockpiles of things, dormitories, workshops. Here is a workshop, a dwarf who is processing plant thread into plant cloth. He's weaving plant thread into plant cloth. He's a clothes maker who's weaving clothes. These are some bones with bones maker. I can actually make some more bone crafts. Our bone bolts are fine enough. And totems, we can make totems as well. And so on. This is our hospital where we treat injured dwarves. Of course, we have to have military. I've built barracks where the dwarves train. There are some swords dwarves training here. Marks dwarves shooting at archery targets, and so on. So you can build whatever you want. People have built crazy stuff, like in Minecraft. Do whatever you want, build whatever you want. People have built computers in this, calculators, evil devices of death, traps, whatever. So if enemies comes, you don't always have to deal with them by military force. You can also design cunning traps where the enemies would just find that their death. One of our things we want to do is we found a magma pipe underground. We want to use the magma to destroy the enemy, so we started digging something which will be a magma tank, magma container, reservoir to supply our magma trap with magma. And we also use the magma here in channels. We have channeled the magma. That's our build construction, which is like the fuel for smelters and forges, where we forge metal to armor, to have armor. We mine for ores here. This dwarf is currently doing it. He has mined a silver vein. These stars are like the silver nuggets. These blinking area is going to be mined out next. This is the mining designation. There's another silver vein hidden in there. Those are empty silver veins already mined out, containing no silver, just a few gems, and so on. So you try to survive, and in the underground you find caverns like this. This cavern has a water pool and some cavern life. That there are fantasy creatures like troglodytes, cave spiders, cave bats. You can conquer the caverns, explore them. Deep underground are even more dangerous caverns. Some trees grow here. More dangerous beasts are there. And very, very deep underground is a big underground sea. We found it already. Here, this was it. And even deeper below that is the big magma sea. It's like very deep underground. It's like the core of the earth. And there is even stuff hidden below this one, but I won't go into it. And this is the most precious metal. This is like the unobtainium of Dwarf Fortress. It's called adamantine. And when you mine this metal and process it in the right way, you can get the best sort of weapons and armor out of it, if it's an edged weapon. This metal is extremely light and extremely sharp. It makes sharp edges. The swords made out of this metal, they pretty much act like lightsabers from Star Wars. So yeah, and there's all sorts of industries your dwarves can do. We are currently these yellow things are sand. The green things on it is some sort of vegetation, but mostly it's a desert. So we gather sand, and sand is like the material you need to have glass industry. So we have glass furnaces down there at the magma level. We're making glass items. Our livestock is multiplying as they graze here, so we slaughter them and tan the hides. We have some leather industry going. From the leather we can build armor for our marks dwarves, which perform better when they are clad in leather than they are in metal. And what now? I mean, we have animal trainers. We have captured some wildlife animals like these giant sparrows, and we have tamed them. So we now have a breeding pair of sparrows. We have captured and tamed kangaroos, wild kangaroos, and they are tamed by now, multiplying. So it's fun to see your fortress growing. So that's a good thing. And the dwarves have all sorts of needs, and that's why people compare it to The Sims. Each dwarf is an individual. If you read his thoughts, then you see how he has felt in the recent time, what gods he worships, what groups he belonged to, how old is he, how does he look, what does he like. So this is like the preferences. Each dwarf prefers different kind of meal, different kind of drink, material, animal. So if you want to make him really happy, you can try to assign him or get him the kind of animal he likes. You can try to buy some food or produce some food he likes. So if he eats it, he gets happy thoughts. If you see like he likes sterling silver. Imagine if we had enough sterling silver to build him furniture. If he had an individual room, we would assign him an individual room, and the furniture would be built out of sterling silver. He would be super happy because it's his favorite material, and he would live a happy life in this fortress. The dwarves have families, they have offspring, and they love each other. They create relationships to other dwarves. You can see what relationship he has only to his deity. He's probably a new arrival here. He doesn't have really social connections to other dwarves, but some other dwarves have friends here in this fortress. Some of them have relatives, parents, and some of them has unfriendly terms with some other dwarves. They have grudges against each other, and they quarrel in the taverns, especially when they are drunk. So they live life like real individuals, and you care for them. And they get hurt in battles, and their injuries are more. Many of these injuries are permanent. They cannot heal. If they lose a hand, well, they will live the rest of their lives without a hand. Or if they tear a tendon, well, they'll be crippled. They will not be able to use their limbs properly if the tendons in them are torn. So it has very, very detailed sort of. So many things in Dwarf Fortress are so realistic, so that you try to survive as much as you can, because this game's motto is losing is fun, hinting that there is no way to win. Somehow, sooner or later, the enemy forces grow so strong against you that they eventually win. But as you will be losing, at least you will have fun doing so, and it is great fun. So nothing lasts forever here. That's basically it. That's what you do in Dwarf Fortress. Just care for your dwarves and try to have fun, whether you're losing or winning. So we currently have fun designing the magma trap, looking forward to how it will deal with the enemies. We're having fun gathering sand, making some green glass products. We are producing some armor for our army. Some trap components. That's what is it? Sterling is a copper alloy. Really? Sterling silver? Well, yeah, okay. Well, I will not go into that deep micromanagement where will I try to individually design rooms for each and every dwarf, supplying him with his favorite food, favorite pets, favorite materials. Well, maybe for selected dwarves, but not for all of the 70 dwarves what we have here. Yeah, Tom T mentions another thing. Either the enemy grows too strong or the FPS death knocks on the door. FPS death is what happens always. As the game progresses, the dwarves create so many items that it clutters the game memory. And even the best computer of today's can't handle the amount of CPU power and memory it needs to keep track of all of this fortress. So this is a turn-based game, and as the game is unpaused, each turn takes a certain amount of time. And as time grows, as the fortress gets more and more complex, and eventually you have like 1 frame per second, and it gets so slow that it's pretty much unplayable later on. So that's the FPS death, the frames per second death. Optimus says, from all your Dwarf Fortress streams, one can cut out parts and create very interesting and unique Dwarf Fortress tutorial videos. Yes, I think it would be possible to do so, but it would take probably more work than to create the tutorials from scratch. Because I don't keep track where I have this tutorial musings and moments. So we are currently building the roof on our temples. This is the tower containing our temples where the dwarves pray to deities. This is the roof of our barracks. We need to cover it so that no flying enemies could possibly attack our dwarves when they are training. Devil says, I'd like to see Nagi play a Moo game. What is a Moo game? Okay, so we are running out of stone blocks. We will need more stone blocks to supply the above ground buildings. It's a crazy idea to make above ground buildings, but whatever, we've started it, so we'll do it. Just do it. So what? So I see lots of cabinets and armor stands. We should probably have a stockpile for cabinets and armor stands. Oh, Moo. Moo is Master of Orion. Oh, yes, I remember Master of Orion. I've read about it in the 90s games magazines. It was really inspirational review, or inspirational. It was a very, very, very nice review, and I thought I would love to play that game, but I could never ever get my hands on it. I never had any friends who had this game, and it was absolutely unthinkable to buy it legally back then. Master of Orion. Yeah, I've seen that there is a remake of Master of Orion, but I did not like it. I did not like the remake. So yeah, the old one. If anything, I'd play the old one. And maybe if I grow fond of the old one, maybe then I'd try the new one. So how are our farms doing? We have some crops growing. Are still growing. Sweet pods, plum helmets, rock nuts. Okay, I need some rock nuts be harvested. So how is our sheep shearing process? Nobody is shearing the sheep. Why isn't anybody shearing the sheep? Do I have any shearers? Shearing. I have yeah, a couple of shearers. One, two, three shearers. It should be enough. Come on, guys, shear the sheep so that they can be butchered. Hey, what's up? Oh, okay. We got gabbro blocks, okay, you can. Just another blocks here. You even got some marble blocks. Hey, leopard cubs. That's the second leopard cub born here in captivity. I guess we should. It's been all since these are both leopards. I think it's tame already. Yes, it is. We didn't tame them ourselves. One of them I think we did tame. No, we didn't. Well, we probably bought both of them. So, yeah, that's leopards. We should train these leopards to be war leopards now. Optimus says, Sven, I tried Masterwork. There are tons of options and add-ons, but you have freedom to turn off whatever you don't like and balance the game to your leisure. Anybody return to the good old vanilla? Yes, I know you can turn it off, and there is even a version of Masterwork which that's basically nothing, but which keeps the game vanilla, but simplifies stuff like all these kinds of wood there are. It's just one. It simplifies them to one generic wood, or yeah, it simplifies lots of other stuff, and thus presumably making Dwarf Fortress faster. Could be good, could be bad. I never tried it. Yeah. I think I'd use Masterwork to play if I'd ever wanted to play another race like humans or elves. If I'd wanted to play them, I guess I'd use Masterwork, keeping other things pretty much vanilla. But I know they have a nice concept of buildings. They have these buildings or workshops where you don't really have a workshop menu where you build, I don't know, a wizard's workshop or whatever they have, like a gun maker's workshop, but you have a workshop. You have sort of like workshop recipes, which says, okay, you want this kind of workshop. Okay, you need a room, you need 2 chairs, 3 tables, 1 cup, one whatever it is, cabinet, 2 chests, 3 buckets, and whatnot. And you have to build it somewhere in the room, arrange it, and then you can declare the room to become that kind of workshop you want. And that thing, I think it's a good way to do it. And I think that is something that will eventually come to Dwarf Fortress. Like now we have temples, we have areas which we declare, okay, this is a temple, and whatever you put in that area, the temple has. It has statues. It can have beds. It can have windows. It can have whatever equipment, musical instruments. Same with tavern, library, and hospital. You see, that's just as you build it. And if everything could be like that, maybe it would be more consistent. So I don't say everything about Masterwork is bad, but I think as it comes in the format as it comes out of the box, it's very unbalanced. It's my feeling. I just from what I get in watching Let's Plays of Masterwork. Optimus says, "What confused me in playing as humans, elves, and so on. What confused me is playing as humans, elves, and so on. I ask myself, do I really want that? Yeah, why not?" Well, I'd sort of want that, but I would pretty much expect to be it more or less just like dwarves. So what would be the point in the first place? Even humans, or even, it doesn't have to be humans. It has to be could be goblins. Even playing as goblins or any other race native to Vanilla Dwarf Fortress, they all have armorers, they have masons, they have animal caretakers, they have farmers. I guess they have. Oh, power is restored. Welcome back, Paul. So we are short of drinks. We don't really have no plants, so yeah. You want to tell me that you can't even brew drinks from plants? That'll be fun. That'll be that'll be fun. That'll be fun because well, but the crop is just about to grow, right? We're just about to harvest it. Yes, Optimus, I've noticed that Masterwork adds a lot of races. Yes. But I do not wish to play any of them. I don't really understand the purpose of them, other races. No, please do not make walls here. Yeah. Optimus says I agree with you on the races. They were one of the reasons why I turned to vanilla. Returned to vanilla. Hey, so it looks like we've got shear, cancels shear animal, no creature, which means we have a go to slaughter our sheep. Hey, what's... Ah, U, it's called U. Devil says, things are too quiet, sacrifice a dwarf. I think sooner or later our Wermoose dwarf will be sacrificed to the raging life of Cavern 1. Hey, look what we have now. Sand, yellow sand, lots of sand. I think we can stop making clay crafts now. Collect sand. We can make green glass things. What do you think we should do? Toys? Windows. Vial. Oh, portal is a door. Okay, window is a... I don't want really portals. Tube. We will need some pumps. So let's make glass tubes. I'll just double check whether glass is indeed magma safe. Glass is magma safe. Dan says, asks, would Dwarf Fortress lose its appeal if you didn't have to master the graphics and the user interface? If it had 10 times the user base and everyone were playing it like Civilizations or Total War series? Yes, as Optimus says, that is a very good question. Very good question. Post it in the forums. May I post it in the forums? Because I would really like it. It will spark an awesome. I'd imagine it spark an awesome discussion. So Let me just do that. How do you glow? Okay, preview. Okay, I've posted it. Well, yeah. Part of this is really. I think it would lose, because part of what does keep me playing Dwarf Fortress is best expressed with a quote of another Dwarf Fortress player who said, after climbing the learning curve and learning all the stuff and the complexity and user interface of Dwarf Fortress, I'm too elitist to not like it or not play it anymore. So after you've put in so much effort to actually understand it and be able to play it, I mean, would you admit that this game is not worth playing? So that's but that's just a small part. I mean, what's for me, what really motivates me and keeps me playing is the ingenuity of the game, and that how Toady One really dedicates his life to it and cares about this game and really is making this game fun. I've heard another opinion which said, or another quote of another Dwarf Fortress player who said, Dwarf Fortress is the kind of game I would program if I could program, if I could code games. So that's pretty much everything I read about the development and the planned features and the roadmap of Dwarf Fortress. I say like this. I like this. I like the kind of magic Dwarf Toady One wants to implement. I like the kind of thing he did to come up with libraries, taverns that dwarves randomly, the game randomly generates poetry forms, musical instruments, randomly generated musical instruments is so awesome, or dance forms, or other things, creation myths. What I read about creation myths, how he wants to deal with that, how he wants to have this fantasy slider where you can define to what degree you really want a randomized to want to have randomized beings or randomized life forms in this fantasy world. Do you want the classical fantasy with dwarves, elves, goblins, humans, or do you want like a strictly human world, or do you want anything? I mean, random. I have like six-legged lizards, whatever, yeah, instead of dwarfs. So that all features I read about this game, what's going to come, is filling me with excitement. And I'm really excited about the next upcoming upgrade or update of the game, where we will finally have artifacts and we will be able to send off squads to raid and loot other sites, and we'll be able to negotiate with enemy parties, so that they go, okay, goblins come and say, okay, either we'll siege you and war you, or you'll give us, I don't know, that artifact of yours. So That's the thing I like. Optimus says, Nag, in my case, it will all depend on features. If they would Skyrimize my fortress, it would be bad. If all cool features depth are there, it would be okay. Devil says his game is running with 700 dwarves. 70. And only 3 idlers entire time. Of course, I keep my dwarves busy. I'm trying to use the time. The dwarves are there. Yeah, sending parties. I also didn't mention libraries enough. It's not only that the oh, they'll be leaving soon. Damn, I completely forgot they are here. Yeah, we wanted to buy. I forgot we wanted to buy the couple of black bears. The elves have brought with them a couple of black bears to trade, and I don't really think we've got enough to buy them. So let's request a trader and quickly just buy off the clay of them, and you know, yep, let's trade and buy this and give them the tattered clothes. I don't really want any of these bought clothes either. The clothes in parentheses are bought or imported, but they are of low quality. I don't really want any of them. Yeah, these are still fine. These are masterwork clothes. And I'll give some masterwork pieces for free to these traders. You say close the gates. No, I will not do harm to the elves. Not yet. Once I'm bored fighting the goblins, I'll tease the elves and start war with them, I guess. But I don't know if it will ever be the case in this fortress. There is some prepared food. Prepared food. Yeah, prepared food pot is good. Prepared food barrel is dead. Or dead is death. Okay. Let's... Actually, we've got 33,000. I think 33,000. Damn, that's a good price for a couple of bears, isn't it? I mean, it's not the price for the bears. The bears in the cages are basically worthless to the elves. It's the cage which is so valuable because it is made of wood. Anything made of wood is of immense value to the elves. So I'd say we trade. Hey, wonderful. Ecstatic with your trading. Yes, you are. All right. We just acquired a couple of bears. Let's give them some nice clothes. So we've got really fine clothes here. I think I saw some. No clothes. Okay. Trousers, pigtail trousers. Give them a pair of trousers and a robe. Yeah, why not? Why not give them this? Offer marked. Ecstatic, you are too kind. Okay, thank you very much. And we will release the trader. Guys, I'll take a short break. We will continue in a short while. Actually, a short while, no. I have to cook something, otherwise I'll just eat junk things I find at home. No, I'll take a break for several hours, and I'll put up another stream later today in the evening, and I'll see you then. So have fun. Until then, thanks for watching, thanks for joining, thanks for the awesome question, Dan. I'll report what people have come up with. And Optimus, about the question with the money, well, we'll look into it in the next stream. Until then,